Hi everyone, Omeza here. Welcome to my free Excel dashboard tutorial right here on YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful and highly dynamic interactive Excel dashboard from the scratch. Now you're going to have this downloaded to your system and actually take a look at how everything works. Now let's see how this dashboard works before we can actually go ahead and start building it. Now the first thing you have to actually go through if you want to actually use the dashboard effectively is that we have mini dashboard built inside this very particular dashboard right here. Now we have country, region, item and channel. So if you want to see the view by country, all you just gotta do is just for you to click the country and you see the country sales right here. Now what you're seeing is the top performing countries, the top 10 performing at those countries we have here, and actually how much is attributed to this particular country. So you can go and check view of region. So when you click on region, what you see popped out is actually this particular view. In every single year we've actually been operating in this particular company, we have all those data that has to do from 2010 down to 2016, and you can see the best year and the best region right here. Now you see the top region at the top and the bottom region at the top. Now you want to go by item, you click on item and you see that little dashboard actually popped out, and you get to see what it is that you have right here. You can actually still use this particular filter to get this done right in here. Now the same thing to sales channel. If you actually go to sales channel where we have online sales and offline sales, you will get to see the what we have right here. So right now you want to place filter to check it out. You just get to click on this filter right here and you see the filter just popped out right here, and you pull your filter through and see what it is that you actually have right on this. So now filtering this is going to actually filter the whole data. Just look at what's going to happen right now. Every part of the data will get filtered automatically. This is exactly what it is. Now if you've not been a subscriber on my YouTube channel before, please kindly avail yourself the opportunity of subscribing to my channel to actually get the feel of having to create a lot of my dashboards, as I'm going to be releasing a lot of videos over and over again. So please subscribe to my channel, leave a comment and like. All this means a lot to me. It means a lot to my channel. Please hit the subscribe button right now and let's create this together. As soon as we keep creating this together, you get to understand what is going on right here on this dashboard. It's very beautiful and it has a little work to do. Now we're going to be writing some little VBA to actually get this done. So don't worry, my VBA type is always very simple, which we're going to actually take care of. So right now let me just take you to the right workbook. Now here is the workbook we're going to be using. The first thing we're going to be doing is to save our file to the type of file format we want to actually save it to. So now I'm going to click on file and servers. I'm going to show you the file format we're going to be using right now. I'm going to click on servers and I'm going to go to dashboard, add the folder where we're going to be using to actually save this particular file to. And once it pops up from there, what we're going to do is for you to actually type the name of the file as in how we want to save it. So now we have YouTube lesson on an offline dashboard, which is really cool. So now you might actually see a lot of format right here, but this time around what we're going to save it as is not CSV, but we just want to save it as Excel macro enable, because we're going to be writing a little macro to actually help us do some certain things in a very simple way. Now all we do is just to hit save. Because I've saved it before, I'm going to actually deselect it because I don't need it again. So now I'm back to the workbook. If I go back to my main dashboard, we're going to see that if I actually put this particular aspect of, I don't want to see this mini dashboard, so what I'm going to say is a category of our data. Now what we have is this. We have this shipping status based on number of orders placed. Now here I have a filter placed on it and it's showing me the early shipping, the late shipping and the very early shipping plus very late shipping and normal shipping. How do we know how many of our products are being shipped early and not early? It's very simple. We have the data set. Inside the data set we have this particular date column that actually shows us order and ship date. So which is the order date and ship dates. In order to get the early shipping, the late, the normal shipping right now, so we're gonna do something right now. So all we need to do is just to add a new column. So I'm gonna call this column to be extraction. So let me just call this column extraction. So you can name it anything you really feel like. And from extraction, what I'm gonna do is just a simple something. I'm gonna go like have an equal to right there, and I'm gonna go down and say okay, the order date here is the order date subtracted from the what, from the shipping date, the day they place the order down to the shipping date. So if I hit enter, this is what I'm gonna have. So right now the next thing is gonna be order date versus shipping date. So now this is under extraction entirely. So what am I going to do right here? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to show you why I'm doing this right now. So if I go here, oh sorry for that, exactly. So I'm going to copy this. So why am I copying this? If I copy it, the way I'm going to paste this right now, I don't want to have a link to that, so I'm going to paste it as value. Just click on paste value and have it pasted right here. So if I have it pasted right here this way, what I'm going to do for the next time is have this one deselected, so we don't have anything highlighted again. So now what we need to do is just to Ctrl H. So inside the Ctrl H, what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this particular minus with nothing. So I'm going to say minus, and I'm going to come right here and give it a little space, just a one space. I've replaced with nothing, so I'm going to say replace. So now it would definitely replace everything that has to do with minus. The reason why I'm doing this is because if we have minus and we have non-minus, so every single time I feel like categorizing my data into L shipping and not L shipping, I have some errors. So the only thing to do is just to have it removed. Now it's taking time a little bit because we have over 100,000 data sets right here. Now here we go, we are done with it. I'm gonna say okay to it, and I'm gonna have this closed right now. So here we go, we can actually create our shipping status. I'm gonna say shipping status. So if I hit enter on the shipping status, now here is what I have. So before we start creating our shipping status, there is one thing we must do. It's not must, but if we want to have efficiency and some kind of ease on ours, what we need to do is just to have this created. So I'm gonna say range. I'm gonna have to call this range. So range 1, I'm gonna call this range. So range 2. So we have range 1 to 5. It's been named. The next we're gonna have right now here, I'm gonna call this result. I'm gonna call this result. So result 1, and I'm gonna call this result 2. And what I'm gonna do is just to highlight the both and drag it down, and it's gonna give me the left. Now exactly this is where I went. Now watch me create my name range. So all you just have to do is just to highlight this both and create a name range from this. So now to create a name range, just go to formula. From formula, click on this particular create from selection. Here we go. Now we are having the name range we want to create right now. The name we want to use for this particular numbers are actually those particular ones. So it's on the left, so click on the left and hit OK. When it gets to create a name range for this particular one right here, we're going to be using results. So if I go to the top level, I hit this create from selection. Now we don't create from either of these any longer, so we have our name range right here, which is results. So I'm going to hit on this particular right column. So I do this. Now this is exactly what it is. So right now, every single time we actually refer to anything we have right here, let me just give it this example and say equal to this. What am I gonna say? We have 10, and what are we having in the cell? We're having results, which is this. If I say okay, now I want to go by hitting equal to, and I want something from very early shipping, I have result 5. That's exactly why we are doing this. Can you get it right now? So we don't need any of this, we can actually get it selected right now. So the next we're going to do right now is to start to create our name range, using our name range to actually create our shipping status. So now if you look at, we have from 10 to 50. If I come here, we're going to see that we have from 0 down to 50. So what we are trying to categorize right now is that any shipping done between the very day the order was being placed down to the last 10 days is going to be very early shipping. So from 11th day of the order date down to the 20th days is going to be early shipping, and anything less than this, any of these numbers we have right here, and is 40 down to 50 or beyond 50, is going to be very late shipping. So how can we get this done right here right now? I believe most of us already have some kind of suggestion what we can do to actually get it done. So if condition will help us do that, but you just gotta be careful on how you use if condition when doing this. So the first thing we have to do is just to write our first if right here. So you're gonna have to not forget equal. So if, now what we're gonna do right now is if this particular order day, which is the order that was being placed in less than 15 days, do not forget this is what we're dealing with, but because we want to have an accurate answer, something that doesn't throw up error, we have to remove this minus from it. So if the order less than 15 days, if is less than or equal to, can you see that, this number right here? What am I trying to do right now? If this particular number we have right here is less than or equal to this number, so what I want you to do for me is give me the result of this. So likewise, we're going to be using nested if. I'm going to say if again this particular order is less than, now we don't need to place equal to again any longer, so all we just need to do is just to use less than this particular number right here. So give me the results of this. Can you see that? So now what are we doing this for? Now you can see that we don't need to actually lock any cell and all of that to perform any cell locking. It's going to be very simple and very easy to be done. So that is why I'm taking this step by step. Just keep watching. So now I'm going to say comma. It's going to be under if again. So it's going to be if. Do not forget, you're going to have this downloaded to your system and you're going to take a look at how everything is being done. But before then, we just have to understand how we should do this. So if this same number, because we're going to be dragging it down, we're going to be using this one consistently, is less than this particular number right here. So what I want you to give me is this result we have right here. And again, if this particular order days before shipping is less than this particular number right here, so I want you to give me this result. And the last one we're not going to use if we are going to actually say, okay, now let's see what it is. If I actually see, if I place my comma, it's going to say, okay, value if false. So if any of this are not true, what do you want me to do? Just give me this result, which means it's actually in greater than 39, 40 down to 50 or over that is what it is. So now just give me a result from here. So what I need to do is just to have it closed. All my if is going to be closed. I have how many ifs open? I have 5 ifs open, right? 4 to 5 4 ifs open, so I've closed that. So if I now go ahead and hit enter, so let's see what we have. Do we have any errors? I guess no. It's going to take a little while because we have a huge data right here. Now it's working for us. So it's really working. Now let us understand something right here. This is very early shipping. Very early shipping falls under the category of 10 because this is what? This is less than, if it is less than or equal to 10, this is less than and equal to 10. If we come right here, is less than and equal to 10, and 12 is not less than and equal to 10 any longer, so it's falling under early shipping. So it's greater than what? Greater than 10. So we have categorized our data just the way it is, like this. That is the first thing we need to do for we to actually create something like this, to know how many of our what, how many of our orders are being shipped early, late, normal, very early, or very late. Now we have 100,000 of transaction right here, and those are how we actually got to ship all those 100,000 transactions based on our category right here. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to go back and actually create the kind of what, this kind of dashboard, or background we are seeing right here. So I'm going to turn off the that. So now we are seeing this background is very nice background right now. So we need to actually create something like this to start up our visualization. How can we get something very nice like this? It's very easy, which I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to go right here, and now I'm going to click on this particular sheet. So we have something like this. We'll be surprised on how do we gonna do this. It's very simple and easy. So let's see, this is dashboard. Now the first thing you have to do right now is for you to actually hit right here and just drag it down. Okay, fine. You take it up again. I'm going to actually close this recording up. I don't need this. I have this closed. Now that we've done this, we're gonna go to the top level, and I'm gonna go to home. From home, I need to choose my color, and my color is going to be this. So I go by this color right now. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just to actually click right here and highlight it. I'm still gonna give it the same color, so I'm just gonna click right here. I have the same color for it. So now we have this particular color. The next color we're gonna have now is choosing this aspect right here and give it a very nice cool color that is going to actually correlate with the color we've just given. I think I have something like this. Cool. So I'm gonna give it to this aspect as well. Just click on this, and we have this click as well. We give it the same color. Exactly, this is what we need to have. So right now let us give it the full screen and see what it is that we've done. So I'm gonna say okay, remove the header, and we go to what to hide everything. And now on the full screen, this is what we have. If we go, we are almost very close to what we have right here. The next thing is just to go back. Sorry for that. I'm gonna go back right here, and I'm gonna have some cards on top of it. So I'm gonna go to insert, and from insert I'm gonna see this particular shapes. Just click on it, and I'm gonna go to what, to my rounded rectangle. So now I have to actually bring this down here a little bit. So now here we go. So I'm gonna actually right click on it. From there I'm gonna select shape. So with this shape I'm gonna remove the outline. I don't need the outline. So if I come right here, I'm gonna say okay, now this time around I want the car to be on this color. If I have that color in mind, or if you have that color in mind, you can choose any of the color you really want to give to it, but I still prefer this particular color I have right here for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually go to my share, my effect right here, and go to shadow, and from shadow I'm gonna actually pick in this particular type of shadow, which is this particular type of shadow. So now without nothing, I think I'm done with this for now. So what I'm gonna do is just to deselect this from here and make sure I make it bigger than what it is. So if I actually get to actually duplicate this and have it duplicated into 4, so now I can actually select both of them and make sure they are sitting right here. So if I go to the top, I want to align them so that they can actually be on the same line. So I'm gonna say top, and if I go back I'm gonna say distribute horizontally. Now this is exactly what it is that we want. So we are almost there. The background is almost ready. Don't worry, when you download this you understand how it is. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just go back to the same shape again. I'm gonna go into insert and go to this particular aspect right here, click on this particular type of shape, and now I'm gonna hit on my shift and actually drag it. So now I have something like this. So if I right click again, I'm gonna bring up my format shape, and now I'm gonna crank up the width to something like this, and from there we're gonna actually change the background color of the width down to something like this. Then we actually lower the transparency. Now we want something like this. So we are done from here. I'm gonna have it close this as well. So if we go back to our main dashboard, this is what we have right now. We have those buttons right here that helps us to switch from one mini dashboard to another. So we need to create this kind of particular mini dashboard as well. So before we create this mini dashboard, all we gotta do is just to create those buttons. So never forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are still watching right now, that means I really means a lot to you, and you mean a lot to me as well. Your subscription, your comment, and your like means a lot to this particular channel to help it grow. And if you can help me share, is very beautiful. I'm gonna respect that. So I want to say thank you in advance to hitting the subscribe button and to like. If you've been a subscriber before, all you need to do is to like, leave comment, and help this channel grow to get more of those videos on your way every single time. So right now we are back to our tutorials. I'm gonna actually hit back to my main. Okay, here we go. Now we are back here. So what I'm gonna do right now, before I create it, I'm gonna create something different right now, because I want to actually add a little, you know, some kind of little thing that is gonna make our work very, very interesting. So I'm gonna have to add this. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. So now what I need to do is just to right click on it. I'm gonna choose under effect for it, effect direction. All I need to just change is the direction of the effect right here. Just go and actually have something like this used. So if I go this way, you can see what I have right here. But if you look at this, I don't want to use this particular kind of color. I'm gonna change the color in a jiffy. So watch me do it. So I'm gonna bring this right here, and this time around I'm gonna have to change the direction of this to this. So if I actually bring this right here, this is what I have. So we are almost there, but if you look at it, we are not really cool with the kind of color we have right here, right? So now for you to know the kind of color that this is, because right now if we go to if we just click on this and go to the color to change it, let's see if we can find it right here. Not really this color, so we need to actually go mix the color. So exactly, this is the color we have right here. So we have this color, so all we need to do is just to actually give the same color to this. So you can actually go right here and pick the color from this particular shape and actually give it to this particular shape right here. So it has given us exactly the kind of color we really wanted. So which is this. Now we need to change the direction again, because we gave it the we actually copied. So here we go, we have it for it. Now we have something nice like this. We're almost there, right? So I'm gonna go to the top level, and from the top level I'm gonna have to go to the insert, and from insert I'm gonna pick up the shape again. Like this is the shape I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna make it bigger for now and make it round, which is this. So now I can make it smaller to get what I really want. Make it smaller. So right now I'm gonna type off, like off for off. So now it's not centralized, so I'm gonna actually click at the top level. I'm going to go to home. So from home I can actually make it center, just like this. Now if I have something like this, I'm gonna bring it to the top level. So now I'm gonna duplicate this, have another one right here. I'm gonna have this one duplicated into 5. So right now what I need to do is just to hit this and actually highlight both of them. And now I'm going to go to this particular format object. So from format object, what I need to do right now is to give those transparency. Now here we go, something like this. And I would like to have this one on gray, selected one on gray. Now if you look at it, we're going to be using VBA to actually work around with this. Every single time we click any highlighted one, we get highlighted, just like the way this one really is. Let's go back and see what we have right here. So every single time we make a selection, our selection is going to be highlighted. That is the work of VBA. So VBA is very simple. We're going to be writing some kind of maybe 3 to 4 line codes to actually have this down. This is exactly what I want to show you in this part of the video right here. In the next part of the video, we're going to learn how to write the macro that is going to actually help us switch through all this. And now we're going to be going through the analysis right straight up. Now we are showing this for now. So the next step we're going to be taking right now is for we to actually create our visualization. Our first visualization is with this particular visualization right here. So let me turn it off. Now our first visualization is going to be how to get some kind of a visual like this. What do we do to get something like this? So if you are a little bit curious, so wait and see what we have. All we need to do is just to come back to this particular where we have our data set, right? Where you see the data cells or the sales record. So click on any part of the sales record and go to the top level, hit insert and insert a pivot table to summarize your data the way you really wanted it. Now it's asking, do we need to use new sheet or existing one? I'm going to use existing one because I have this sheet already open. So I'm going to actually click right here and I'm going to have it dropped in here. Now it is time to summarize huge data that we have. So let's just see what it is. So you can see we have our pivot table dropped right here for the first time. We're going to be using pivot table on this. So what I'm going to do right now is just to actually locate my my status, shipping status. So which is this particular one right here. So now I have the shipping status right here. So now it's giving me raw labels. So I'm going to go to the top level and actually change the narration to what I really wanted. So go to report layout and hit on tabular form, and now to remove the grand total, just turn it up right here. That is exactly what it is. So the next thing I'm going to actually go to the date level right here, any of the date, order date or shipping date, and actually pick this particular order date or shipping date and actually have it here. This is where you're going to have it under the value. So just double click on it and drag it down here. Now what does it do? It defaults to what? It defaults to the total numbers of goods being shipped on account. Now its count is not summary like sum, average or max, wherever. So it's going to be on count. What it is counting right now, it is counting how many of our products are being shipped early, late, normal, very early and very late. So this is exactly what it is, and this is what we have just done right here. If you look at what we have right here, this is exactly what we've done. So now we are going to do the same thing right now. But mind you, if we try to actually create the kind of chart you've seen right there, it's not going to be possible for us. I'm going to go to analyze, and from analyze I'm going to go to pivot chart, and to go to pivot chart in Excel, here we go, we have a pivot chart, and for the type of chart is or scatter chart. So no scatter chart is going to be allowed to be created right now, but we can actually trick our Excel to actually have that done for us. So what are you going to do? I'm going to actually highlight everything we have right here, and I'm going to copy this. So bring it down here, right click on it, and actually you see this particular part of it where it says Pest Link. Just hit on OK. Now we've pasted that as Pest Link. So which means every single time there is changes in our data right here, so there's going to be a changes right here as well as it is linked to the cell. So if I double click on this, now it's linked to this particular cell B9. This is 9 and this is B. And if I come right here and actually double click again, it's linked to this. This is exactly what we really want. So right now we can actually give a little formatting. Control 1 will help us to do the formatting we really want to do. So let's see what we're gonna do now. It's gonna be number, not currency. So because it's not currency, it's actually giving us the count of what of product being shipped. Now this is what we're gonna be using. So right now we can highlight everything, and now we don't need to actually insert pivot chart, but our chart is going to be inserted automatically with this. I'm going to insert and you hit this and you can actually pick this. Here we go. So this looks some kind of awkward right now, not really something we feel like this is what it is. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to expand it a little bit. So what do we do? So can we get this away from here right now? Yes, of course. I'm gonna cut this away from here and go to my dashboard. Here we go. I can now drop this right here on my dashboard. So I'm gonna move it up and I'm gonna actually expand it to cover the space we have. I'm gonna bring this down, so something like this. So now we have to work on formatting. How do we do this? First of all, I am going to actually double click on this. When I double click, I bring this up. So I'm gonna move it this way. So what am I gonna do right now? I'm gonna say no fill, no outline. So I'm gonna click on this particular inner one, which is this grid line we have inside it right here. So once the grid line is being highlighted, make sure the grid line is highlighted. Oh, sorry for that. So now we need to highlight the grid line. So once the grid line is being highlighted just like this, just lower the transparency to create some kind of little effect on it. So now click on this as well. So lower the transparency. Now we have something like this. So when we actually work on it, we're gonna have some kind of cool. Now we're having this clicked. I'm gonna click on this particular marker. So on the marker, so I'm gonna go down right here and change the width to, maybe I'm gonna go to 30, something like this. Too small, you go to 40. If you don't fancy it, you can go to 50, wherever, but I'm calling 40. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to actually go right here and click on this particular gradient line. So having gradient line clicked, I'm going to actually have to remove all this right now. I just need two colors, so take the two stops off. So the first color I'm going to be needing for this is going to be something that has to do with the kind of color I have right here. I'm going to go for this type of color, and the second color will be something that will have to do with my color we have right here. I might choose to use this kind of color. So any color that you know is going to stand out, but it's still going to look like what we have in. So never worry about how it is. So right now this is what we have. So I can actually go and actually add some effect on this particular color I have right here, and I will choose to use any of this effect right here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to actually crank up this right away. So it's too much. Direction, no. So we increase it a bit, so we actually make it some kind of blur. So it's turned out right now, it's turning out. So what we need to do is just to hit on this particular aspect right here and actually put our dots, our data label. So if we do that, I'm going to click on the data label itself, and I'm going to go to the top level right here and hit on label. Now having done that, I'm going to actually turn on the X value. Here's the X value right here, and I'm going to say, okay, now what you need to do is just give me new line. So we have it right. So we need to be on the what, above. So it's above right now. So I'm going to click at this particular aspect where I go to home. Then from home, what I need to do is just to make it bold, and I'm going to give it the white color. So guess how everything works. So I can actually make it some kind of come out very well. So this is what it is. So right now we've actually arrived at where we are going. So if I actually select this away from here right now and go to our main dashboard to see what we have now, is almost the same thing, almost the same thing. So now we kind of go back to the dashboard we are creating. Let's see what we can do to add this particular trend line on it. To add a solid line, you see we are under marker. So right now you just need to come to line. So when you come to line, just click on this solid line, and all this will actually pop out. So now that we've gotten the solid line, so let us see the kind of line we want to give to it. So we need to give it some kind of dash, and now I'm going to have to reduce the width of the line. I don't need something as thick as this. I think would respect go with this. Yeah, this number of thickness is really okay. This is okay, this is cool, and you can choose to give it a grid line as well if you choose to. And I take some stops off. Maybe I have 2 steps. I'm gonna actually say, okay, I go with this particular color of this first step. I'm gonna actually choose to go with this particular kind of color of the second step, and just like that, this is how I got everything right there. So this is exactly what it is. So now I think you've actually seen something like this. It's very, very nice and simple. Now it is actually something that has to do with exactly what we have on this particular dashboard. So we are actually about to create a very unique Excel dashboard right now that is going to actually make your life easier and switch through all this particular aspects right here which is the mini dashboard we have right here. So all you just gotta do and help this channel. If you are still watching, you mean a lot to me, and that means this particular Excel dashboard means a lot to you. So hit on the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the like button. If you've been a subscriber, all this is important to me as well. Just do that and actually help me grow this particular channel. The next thing we're going to do right now is to navigate through a computer to actually get this particular type of icons to the Excel dashboard we're actually creating to make it more fancy. So right now here we are on this particular aspect. So I'm going to actually click at the top level and go to insert. If you've not actually done this before, it is very easy. Then go to picture, and now we're actually trying to locate where we have our picture in. I'm going to go to desktop. From desktop I can actually hit on that particular aspect, Excel tutorial right here, and I'm going to go to this here, and from there I'm going to hit on license, and I'm going to go to this particular L3, and here we have our icons. So we have these huge icons right here that we can actually choose from. Depends on what we want. So what if I go with this? If I want to go with this, I can actually click on this and I have it right here. So I can actually have it minimized a little bit, and I'm going to bring it down to the top level. So which is this particular aspect? Our dashboard is about to take a very nice shape, right? So right now let me just bring the other one out and actually see. It's exactly the same process I'm going to actually follow. Now we've gotten all the shapes right here, and actually we've actually given this name. It's very simple. It's something you can do. Just take a word art and actually have this written, which is the sales, profit, gross, cost of goods sold, and quantity sold. So we have all this right here, and it's just a shape, just to make sure our dashboard is very beautiful. It's just a shape, some bunch of shape right here. So right now it's very easy. So the next thing I'm going to be creating right now is just to actually have this KPIs we have right here. Right now, then we are actually on a good shape of this dashboard. So right now to do this is very simple. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to recycle through this by actually copying this and actually change it, or we should come back every single time and pick out a new pivot table? Why do we want to go through that? So all we need to do is just to like be here, and actually what you need to do is just to actually click on and actually copy this from here and go down to this particular aspect and have it drop in here. So once you have that done, so the next thing you're going to do right now is just for you to actually, I think we've not copied, okay, just copy from here. Ctrl C will help us copy, and Ctrl V will help us drop it down. So right now we have it. So we need to actually remove the shape, the shaping status right here. Once we have that removed, now that goes away. We have not removed it, so take it off. So no more shipping status, and this one that defaults to count, we're gonna remove it because we don't need it as well. So what we've been needing to actually add right now is this particular total revenue, and we need to the unit sold, which is the quantity sold, and the total profit is gonna be coming in. And what we need to do to add again, we just need to actually scroll down, and we scroll down to see what it is that we have to add. Okay, I think this time around we still have so many things to be added. Then we need to actually go and add. So our total cost here is the cost of goods. We're gonna add it as well. So right now what we need to do to do something now, because this is currency, so we need to actually click on any of the currency we have right here. We click on this, we have this three highlighted. I'm gonna control 1 and give it the kind of currency I really want. So you can go right here and choose to actually take this off, no extra decimal, and hit OK. Now this is exactly what it is. So right now this is just a number that actually shows us how many quantity had been sold. So right now I'm going to remove the extra decimal from it. I'm going to use this operator, and I'm going to click OK. Now we have this. It is time to get it down right to a dashboard. Right now that is going to be very fun. So now I'm going to click at the top and show you how you can actually get to do that. Go to insert, and from insert hit on this word right here and actually click on this particular aspect right here. Then we have this here. Now we can see our ruler, what should I call it, ruler, what am I talking about? Yeah, formula bar. So I'm going to click on formula bar right here. Here we have it. So now I'm going to click right here and actually have this equal to. Then if I go back to my back end, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick on the total sales, which is revenue. So how it picked, and I'm going to bring it to the top level right here, just here. So I'm gonna do that to every part of it. To make the tutorial very fast, let me do this behind the scene, then I show you how to format it. Now here we go, we have everything right here. The next we have to do right now is to make sure we give it a very nice formatting that is going to actually make it sit right on our dashboard. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a very white color, and I'm going to actually make sure I make it some kind of bigger than any part of it. So now it's just going to be bigger than every other numbers we have right here, and I make it bold. So what about this? That is cool, right? So now if I come right here, I'm going to make sure it's sitting right here. So I still want to actually crank it up a little bit because I want this to be some kind of popping out. So we have written this number. So here we go. Now right on this one, the case is going to be different. I'm going to go right on the top left right here. I'm going to hit on bold. I have it on bold. I'm going to change from 11 down to, I think 16 is cool. So down to 16, and I'm still gonna have it on the same white color. And now what I'm gonna do is just to make sure I have this copied from here, double click on it and use it as you want. Now so here we go. So what I'm gonna do right now is just to make sure, sorry for that, so make sure I have this clicked and make sure it's sitting right in the middle. So what I need to do right now is just to click on this and go to the top right here and just click on this format, and from format what you need to see is this align, just align them top. So nicely we have something like this, but I want to give a different color to the profit to actually make sure it stands out when you actually come into the dashboard for the first time. That's just what you gotta see. So I need to actually change the color to the profit. So drop the attention to this particular color of the profit, and now I'm going to actually crank it up a little bit as well as profit. So now it's turned out too. So I'm gonna actually make sure I drag it up. So now this is what we've just gotten. So we are almost there. If I talk about almost there, yes, for real, we are almost there, almost about to create a kind of dashboard if you've seen previously being created completely. So now if we go back to our main dashboard, let's see what we have. Are we in any way close to what we have right here? Yes, of course, it's a replica of this particular dashboard. It's very easy to be created. You might be thinking, this is complicated, I've never done this before. It's gonna be very easy for you to be created. Just follow me step by step and have this created. You don't need to have any extra sheet for this. Some people would definitely have many sheets right here that they're gonna navigate through top, but it's not as what you have right here. This is different. This is really different. Just watch me do it. So right now we're gonna actually stop it right here. So if you've not been a subscriber before, please hit the subscribe button. Let us create this step by step. Now go actually practice this and actually click on the next video to watch and get to the next part of this particular video, where you learn all other aspects of the mini dashboard and how to link it and switch between them every single time you want that to happen. So right now, if you've watched this, you've actually worked a very long way with me. Now for we to actually work together again, so be my subscriber, leave a comment to help my channel, and hit the like button. If you've been a subscriber before, do all this as well, as it means a lot to me. I want to say thank you for believing in me to come to my channel to learn all this all the way. I have so many more to come right on this particular channels, so let's work together. Thanks for watching, stay blessed and stay out of trouble.